Hi there. Welcome back to Philosophy of the Barber, where I talk about all sorts of things relating and kind of sort of relating to barbering. My name is Bree. I have been a barber for 15 years. I hold a master barber and school instructor license here in the state of New Hampshire. I operate a private suite, and I am currently serving on the New Hampshire Board of Barbering, Cosmetology, and Aesthetics. With that, here's your disclaimer. Today I want to talk about barbering taboos. I've got four main subjects I want to talk about. First is kind of obvious, but it's still a taboo in 2026. Barbers cutting long hair, or barbers cutting women's hair. Obviously, these two things are not synonymous. I'm a woman, I have short hair. The majority of the population does tend to have long hair as women, but there's been discomfort from a lot of barbers over the decades and various generations that have been really uncomfortable with cutting long hair. And it's not to say we don't learn it in school, because we do. I'm not sure if it's a lack of continual practice because they don't get it in their chair very often. When I first started out, encouraged all hair lengths to sit in my chair. Even to this day, I have no problem cutting long hair, especially when there are mullet and mohawk variations that are circulating the fashion right now. You have to know long hair cutting techniques. But I do think that the discomfort that male barbers feel with women sitting in their chair is a separate issue. For instance, we're going to use generalizations right now. I would say generally it's understood that women are largely pickier clients than men. The average client who's going to a barber is pretty low maintenance by the nature of choosing to go to a barber. Unless you're someone who is getting a tight skin fade every week or two, then obviously that's a higher maintenance, but not on the client's part. When the majority of women go into salons and are looking for foil and various color services, they have something very specific in mind. They have a particular shade of blonde, warm tone, cool tone, the amount, shadow root, how exactly they want it to look. Men, for the most part, are I need a haircut, get it off my ears, get it off my collar, keep it out of my face. It's looking floppy or poofy or something that's become unruly to where it goes from wash and wear, no maintenance besides running your fingers through it, to now I have to pay attention to this because it's bothering me. So when a woman is sitting in a barber's chair who's used to a much less discerning client sometimes, I think that's when a lot of men get uncomfortable simply because they're concerned about disappointing or upsetting the woman if she doesn't get exactly what she's looking for. In my opinion, and the way that I was taught in barber school, hair has no sex. It's just hair. You cut it to the specifications of the client. The second taboo I want to talk about is the barber down the street. That is how a barber interacts with what would be their perceived competition from a neighboring barbershop. Now, I don't understand why this is taboo, but I have seen and understood that there have been people who get uncomfortable when crossing paths with someone they view as competition. In my opinion, I feel like one should choose kindness over insecurity. And I feel like that's where awkwardness comes from, is insecurity. I don't really feel as though any of the barbers in my area are my competition. I offer a unique service and atmosphere and haircut quality that is unique to me because I am in a private suite. I'm the only one that I have to be concerned with, and my clientele are showing up for me specifically. If you have a multi chair shop and you're dealing with maintaining an atmosphere of the shop as a whole, as well as the individuals who work there, it's a different animal. But as far as an individual goes, they're simply a person. They're another industry professional that anytime I cross paths with them, I'm happy to see them. And I'm genuinely hoping that all of them are successful, because if there's one thing that I've picked up in my years of business, it's that the nice thing about capitalism business as far as barbering goes is that this is one race that everybody may be running together, but I'm not competing with anybody. I can succeed and they can succeed, and no one has to lose in order for that to happen. So I'd rather choose to be kind and friendly to people versus look at them as though I'm concerned that they're going to steal my clientele. The next taboo I want to talk about is defending boundaries, both professionally and personally. When we're talking about a business here, we've had experience with clients who walk in, look at the price list, are somehow personally offended by what we choose to charge, and decide that they want to tell us how wrong we are and try and negotiate pricing. That is up to them if they want to try. But my boundary is my price is my price. The guy who laid down the flooring in your kitchen doesn't discount his labor. He might discount the materials if he can a little bit, but not his labor because he's working that entire time. Is his work somehow worth less because you simply want to pay less? No, I charge what I'm worth. I've built a clientele in order to prove that, and that's one of the reasons my pricing is the way it is. And that's also one of the reasons my book looks the way it does. If you don't like it, then I'm not for you. And that is okay. I'm not for everybody, and everybody's not for me. I will attract the people who value me and what I have to offer, but I don't need to explain that. You can simply say, "Thank you, sir. Have a good day." Now, as far as defending personal boundaries, this is a one-on-one situation of, say, a client making you feel uncomfortable in the chair by bringing up an insulting or insensitive topic or something that is making you uncomfortable, and I will not hesitate to shut that down. As the barber, you are the one in control of the conversation. Conversation doesn't need to occur if you're not willing to engage in it. You can have a nice, quiet haircut, but if somebody's starting to talk about inappropriate things, things that are insulting to other people who even may not be present, but you don't want to hear that, you can stop it. And you can ask them to leave because you can fire a client. That's just as easy as them firing you. In order for true service to take place, both parties have to be engaged, and you can leave at any time, and so can they. Now, last but not least, the taboo of talking about sensitive topics like politics and religion. I personally do my best to try and navigate these waters with a mindset of understanding and of kindness. I'm not having these conversations with people because I'm trying to change their mind or because we agree on everything. I tend to engage in those types of topics by way of representing the position that is not otherwise represented. So, if we're talking about a political topic, I'm going to do my best to engage with the person who has initiated that conversation. One, to understand their point of view, because that's important. I don't have to agree with it in order to try and understand it. But that allows me to have a mindset of curiosity. One, I'm not trying to represent my personal viewpoints on these issues. That's not what I'm trying to push forward. I'm trying to understand their position and then to present the opposing or alternate position that they may not be familiar with for the sake of conversation moving forward. I'm not saying that those are my personal viewpoints, but I do default to trying to defend or represent whatever party or position is not present in the conversation already. The same thing when it comes to religion or other sensitive topics. If I don't know about it, I am genuinely curious. I want to learn. That's one of the reasons I love being a barber, is because I get all sorts of people in my chair that I get to learn from all the time. Let me pick your brain on all these things that I would never otherwise have exposure to. I know more now about how bridges are built and roads and all sorts of construction than I ever would. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think on these taboo topics, how you've navigated them, or let me know any taboo topics that I didn't cover. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Till next time.